Welcome to episode 92 of Shane Talks. We are here. We're doing an extended Troy Talks this month, mid-month episode. Gave Jason some time off, so instead, this mid-month episode, I am joined by Troy Myers for extended Troy Talks. What's up, Troy? I see you're showing off your new hardware, so let's just get right into that. We'll start the episode off with that. You are a triathlon first place relay team winner, man. Explain that to me. What happened? What's going on?
Well,
What are you
first of
bragging
all,
about?
we can clean up that verbiage and just say champion triathlete. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. No, me and my friend Brian went on a trip to go watch Chelsea FC get their ass kicked at the Notre Dame Stadium. And while we were fucking around, we decided to join a triathlon as a team, and we just went out
Oh,
there and just happened to win every leg.
dude, that's awesome, man. Well done. Congratulations. Like you literally did you sign up the morning of the event? Did you have any idea what was going on?
No, Brian.
Oh, okay.
Brian's family has a lake house up there, and so he knew it was going on. He did it last year by himself, and he was just like, let's go hammer
Nice.
this thing down.
Super.
So
Well,
champion
congratulations, man. That's
triathlete,
pretty dope.
world's only champion triathlete who doesn't actually even know how to ride a bicycle. So
I was gonna say, where
uh,
did you like did they just have random bicycles for you to rent? Or like how did that happen?
no, Brian brought his.
Oh, okay. Cool.
He swam and biked. I ran.
Okay. Got it.
We won every leg of the damn competition. No team could touch us, bro.
Dude, that's pretty awesome. So you didn't actually do all three legs yourself. It was Brian did two and you did one.
Yeah, I all I did was the running and
Okay.
bringing up the third leg.
I mean, don't get me
Such is
wrong.
the
I would have
specialty
died
in
if
my
I had
life,
done the
right,
running.
baby?
What was that?
Such is the specialty of my life. Always adding a third leg.
Okay. So, as I alluded to at the beginning of the episode in the introduction, Mr. Mayer has been pretty busy this summer. He's got three kids going back to school right now, so his schedule pretty tight. So I decided I'm going to give Jason our mid-month episode off. Him and I will be back in like 2 weeks talking about 90s bands. So Troy, get yourself ready for that halftime talk. But
Yeah.
I decided to give Jason some time off. And since Troy, talking to you is my favorite part of every episode that we have, I thought I would just bring you on for an extended episode, just kind of chit chat with you a little bit, talk about stuff. Kids going back to school. Your daughter, is she already back in school?
Yep. She started
Yep,
last Thursday.
last week. Cool. All right. So, like, as kids are going back to school, summer movie season is like wrapping up. It's coming to an end. A bunch of crap starts getting thrown out in theaters around now. I know you're not normally a mainstream movie dude, but at any point growing up in your history or even recently, like, have there been any summer blockbusters that are like actually things you liked or cared about or enjoyed? Like, was anything fun enough that it got Troy's seal of approval? Like a summer, like I'm thinking like Con Air, Face Off. I'm thinking like the Will Smith, like Men in Black, or like any of those kind of big like Twister or anything like that. Any of those summer blockbusters, like, do you care about any of them?
Oh yeah, of course, man. I mean, I think that's a little unfair saying that I'm just like anti-mainstream. I'm not.
Okay,
I saw all the movies you just mentioned in the theater,
awesome.
like
Okay, all right.
on their original run. I have just because I have like kind of like skepticism toward those type of things doesn't mean that
Uh-huh.
I'm anti. Like,
Okay.
you know, uh, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't for whatever reason, like I don't get hung up on like seasons really.
Oh, okay. All right.
With the one exception being like I can generally tell you what album I listen to like almost like every winter because I'll usually
Oh,
choose one or two and it'll just be like this is what I listen to until weather gets nice.
okay.
But but no and I guess I'm probably that way with summer too. Like I think of summertime more in terms of albums, I guess.
Okay.
Um but like I there are summer movies that like I mean obviously do like Jurassic Park like
Sure.
I like if you saw that movie in the theater in 1994,
3,
93, whatever it
93.
was, like if you saw that movie in the theater and you came out of it and you were like, "Oh, that was weak," like you're a fucking liar. Like
Yeah,
you're just like you're posing, you're putting on a fucking mask, like because that movie was fucking federal. Like that movie
absolutely.
was fucking like legal grade, like government issue. Like this shit was bomb. Like so like, and like, I had a tremendous amount of fun at Independence Day. Like,
Good. Nice.
back when Will Smith was slapping aliens and not Chris Rock. Like, I like that. Um, but like I think like later in life, like I really enjoyed when like there was kind of like that like Judd Apatow school
Oh, okay.
where they were kind of putting out movies every summer. Like, you know what I mean? Like Superbad came out in the summer. And I
Yeah.
saw that movie like three times that summer because the movie's fucking rad. And like,
Yes, it is.
like Knocked Up was a summer movie. Like
You
I
know?
saw that movie in the drive-in with like
Oh,
Zach and Jenny
nice.
Foster. Like
Oh, cool.
literally like, like the first time we saw it. And then I saw that movie another time in the theater. Like, and so like, like I don't necessarily think of summer movies as being like like a blockbuster is nothing more than like a profit machine. Like I don't necessarily think you have to have big special effects to like
Okay.
be,
That's fair.
you know, it's like I don't need, like, like I don't need like the fucking Christopher Nolan movie every summer.
Okay.
Although I'm fine with getting them, that's great. Like I'll watch them, like, but like I don't need that shit. Like,
Okay.
The Matrix was fine with me the first time. Like,
I, I mean, side note, while The Matrix was out in the summer of '99, it was an April release.
yeah, well, I mean, things used to roll out much slower back then,
True. Right.
you
So,
know.
like, what about The Mummy? Are you a fan of The Mummy? Because that was a big summer of '99 movie.
I remember watching that movie. I watched that movie in the theater because that's what we did back then.
Right.
It's
Obviously
weird.
not
Like,
super memorable.
no, no, no. It's fine. Like Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz is super cute.
Yeah.
Like, it was fine.
Okay.
I know that movie has become like some kind of like phenomena, like post '99. Like, I don't remember
I
anybody in
guess.
'99 like hamming out for that movie the way they do now. I was like,
I guess
like
I did. I loved that movie.
somewhere along the way, that movie got the like master and commander treatment where people are just like, "Oh, this is amazing," and I was like, "Really? This is boring."
No, Master and Commander is still not amazing. That movie still sucks.
I'm just saying, in the world at large, there's like a huge contingent that think you are wrong. But no, weirdly, when you said that, when you said the
Yeah.
Mummy being a summer
Yeah.
movie, like for whatever reason, I put the like the thought in my head. Like I remember the first night of Varsity Blues. Like
Okay.
there was like a huge line at Clearwater, and me and my
Okay.
buddy Mike Scott had tried to go see the early showing, and it was
Hmm.
sold out. And
Okay.
so we bought tickets for the last showing, and as we were driving up, it was nothing but like a bunch of girls in like the puffy coats. You remember
Hmm.
those?
Yep.
And so if you ask me when Varsity Blues came out, it had to be late fall or early winter because all the girls were wearing like the puffy coats, dude.
You're close. It was a January release in '99, so it was
Oh,
early
so it was
winter.
winter. So it was just
Yeah, it was
winter, winter.
winter. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. It makes sense why they were wearing those jackets. But yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
just at the wrong end of the spectrum of the year. But yeah,
yeah. Well, funny. But
no. But see,
anyway,
it's cool. It's
back.
cool stuff like that. They like I love memories about stuff like that. So,
But see, like, if you
like
would ask me, like, what time of the year, like, fucking, Varsity Blues came out, and I'd be like
mhm,
anywhere between like the start of school and like spring break because it
nice.
can be
Yep.
cold in Indiana at any time.
Yep.
But like, yeah,
100%
like,
right about that.
but like, I don't know, like, I just don't think about movies in terms of like when they come out. I feel like
Okay.
it's all just kind of like one revolving thing.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense, I guess. I mean, I can follow that. So if that's where we're at then, let's stop talking about summer movies and let's just talk about this year. Because every single month that you're on here, you usually got like a bunch of movies to talk about that I've never seen. It's all like can stuff. I don't make it to the can enough. I missed out hundreds of beavers when you and I were supposed to go see that this year. Um, I know, and I need to. I think I can rent it now. I think I saw that it's available to rent online somewhere, but I need to watch that. I've literally got a list. That Past Lives, is that Past Lives? Is that the one that was up for an
That, that
Oscar this year?
was like last year, man. You can just
No, I know.
scrap
So behind. I
that.
really want to see that too. But I feel like you probably got a list of movies from this year, like, and you've talked about some of them I know already, but I need like a reminder. Let's spend some time like with this extended Troy talks with you, telling me either movies that you haven't talked about yet, or reminding me of the list of Troy's movies that I need to make sure I watch. And I mean, Past Lives is from last year, but like, what else this year other than Hundreds of Beavers, which I know I need to watch also. What do you got to talk about movie wise for this year?
Well, I feel like I would be remiss if during one of the best sports seasons of the year, that month period between Wimbledon and the US Open,
Okay.
where you work in like the Canadian Open and Cincinnati and all the fun stuff that like actually shows in prime time and where we could watch it if we wanted to.
Uh-huh.
I'd be remiss if I did not mention a little movie called Challengers,
Oh man.
which is by far, by miles and miles, the best movie going experience, and the most fun I've had in a movie this year. Period.
That's
Zendaya,
literally on the movies that I hate the most from this year list. Like
man. All
Mayor and I
right,
talked about it on the regular podcast, man, and I don't I've had this debate with so many people. I think I did with you already, man. Like I hated everything about that movie. Like not everything. I'll give you Zendaya. Zendaya was really good at her character. I just did not like the entire story. It was oh man.
oh
I'm
man,
sorry, Troy. I don't see what you see in that movie.
man, that's because you didn't see that. You haven't seen that movie with me, man. Like, okay, at our fantasy football draft, when we
Yep,
go to the poker game and you
yep.
inevitably get bounced out early, I'm gonna just jump over on the couch, man. We gonna start watching fucking Challengers, and like we're just gonna talk our way through it, man. It's fucking hilarious. It's such a great movie, such a cool vibe, the
No,
best.
but like the director had no idea what he was like. The yeah, I know we talked about the third act and the tennis ball bouncing back and forth and the camera following it with the terrible CGI that just I know what how do you think that that's okay to just shift your movie into that like that like it was that was as bad as like the video game movie stuff where all of a sudden your movie switches to like first person with a guy carrying the gun
Oh,
around and
get
like
out of here!
that is as
Get out
bad
of
as
here!
that, dude. It came out of nowhere. It was just so stupid. Ah, no, man. Challengers was not fun. I don't understand. Like
God,
it
dude,
had some moments. Like I
you
like
don't have fun. Like,
no, I did not have fun.
yeah, dude, cool. Let's talk
I
about
don't
how Harry Kane failed to win a trophy last year. How's that
well,
feel?
that
Like
feels terrible. The
having
hurricane
fun now,
curses.
motherfucker.
Yeah, and then so over the weekend we beat Tottenham in a friendly to win some bullshit cup. And so like my group chat was all like, "Oh, the curse is broken. Harry Kane won a trophy." And then like I see like a couple of minutes later, Harry Kane refuses to touch the trophy when winning on Tottenham soil. And I texted my group chat back and I was like, "Well, Harry Kane still hasn't touched the trophy, so the curse is still intact."
Dude, like
Yeah.
champions of Europe, he'll never sing that.
You know, man, no. Man, I like the guy, and the guy played really well for Bayern last year. But man, the Harry Kane curse is a real thing. Like
uh, dude,
how we win 11 in a row, and then just magically all of a sudden the first year that he's there, we don't win, and like not by like not even close to winning. Not even close.
what if we just admit?
Leverkusen,
What if we just
we just
admit
went
that?
crazy.
What if we just admit that Harry Kane in the early part of his career was carried by Dele Alli on an ultimate fucking like 3 year heater, and
Hmm.
in the latter half of his Tottenham career, Hung Min Sung. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, dude, like, I could score goals with those dudes setting me up. Like, especially Dele
Yeah,
Alli. Man, like, that guy will go down for his
he
two
was
years
super
as
dope.
being holy shit. And then it was
Yeah.
just like, and then it looked like he had never played soccer before in his
Mm.
life. And I was like, that's what I love about soccer. Fuck it.
Yeah,
But anyway,
he went downhill for sure. But yeah, thanks for rubbing in the hurricane stuff. I very much appreciate that. Let's
you
hope
take a
things
jab at
change this
challengers, man.
year.
I'm coming right back at you, dude.
Fair enough, fair enough. So
Let's
what's
see.
next? What else you got?
Um, I really like this movie called Ghostlight. I may have talked about
Ghostlight.
it the last time I was on here.
I don't remember
It's
it.
it's a movie made by a bunch of like Chicago theater people, essentially.
Okay.
Like this guy Keith Kupfer, who was like on The Bear, but he's like mainly like a stage actor,
Okay.
and like members of his family. It was one of the best movies I've seen this year. Definitely like
What's the,
the
what's the
most
plot?
interesting the most interesting movie going experience that I personally had this year. I saw it like on a Thursday night at the Can at the like late show. It was one of the last shows for the movie. I didn't really know a lot about it going in. Um, and it's about this guy who is dealing with like an immense amount of loss, and he joins a local theater troupe putting
Okay.
on Romeo and Juliet,
Okay.
but uh, he like doesn't tell his family because he's
Okay.
embarrassed, like he's like blue collar like Midwest guy, and like he's embarrassed that this is like his like form of like relief or whatever.
Okay.
Um, and not to go too much into it, but so the experience I had, I walk into the the third theater. It's the small one that only has like 20 some odd seats or whatever,
Oh, okay.
right? And so like I'm just sitting in there, middle of the fourth row. There's a guy comes in, sits in like kind of right in front of me, like two rows down. Another single dude my age, essentially. Or I don't know that he's single, or I know nothing about him. He's my age,
Sure.
man, my
Yeah.
age, dude. So this movie's going on. This movie's fucking good. Like you're laughing. You're like, oh, these people are fucking cool. They're relatable. It's a really well acted movie. It's really like engrossing, engaging. It's funny in parts, and then like all of a sudden, like it just starts hitting you with like really heavy shit,
Oh,
and so like I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh god, like I'm like crying at this point. Like I'm just like, oh shit, I can't believe I'm sitting here crying in this fucking movie. And so like the movie ends like
okay.
because like you start crying like maybe like 15 minutes to go in the movie. They at least give you a little bit of come down time, right? And so like I'm watching this movie, and so like the guy in front of me, the lights come up, yeah. He turns and he looks at me, and I just look at him, and I was just like, that was really fucking good, wasn't it? And like I can tell he's been crying too. Like you see
Oh,
like just kind of like
nice.
the bloodshotty eyes, like, and he just was like, yeah. He was like, I didn't expect that at all. And so we just like that's all we said. We just kind of like gathered our shit, went our separate ways. And I was just like, hell yeah, dude, Ghostlight. Like, what a fucking good ass movie.
I'm gonna start a list so that I actually remember things now. Ghostlight.
Ghostlight.
All
Really
right.
fucking good.
List started. What's next? What else you got to chat about?
Let's see. A movie that I think you would like that I've been
Uh-huh.
trying to go see is a movie called Kneecap.
Kneecap. Yep. You told me there's a character in this movie that reminded you of me, and it's
He
not
looks
Michael
like you.
Fassbender. It
He
looks
looks
like
like
me.
you, and
Oh,
it's not. Yeah, it's not Michael Fassbender.
all right. Well,
It's
fair
you're
enough.
like
Right.
DJ Provi or whatever his name is.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so Kneecap is a rap group
Okay.
from Northern Ireland, from Belfast,
Okay.
and they are like wild dudes. Like they're just like into drugs and just being miscreants or whatever. But like they're really talented rappers, I
Cool.
guess. Their lyrical content is like interesting. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But one of the things that they got like so I don't know if you know anything about like the history of Northern Ireland. Obviously, like
A
being
little bit.
under
Yeah.
it's like the one part of the island of Ireland that is under English rule.
Yeah. Yep.
And so like the English have kind of like systematically tried to like destroy Irish culture in that part of the country, and so
Sure.
one of the things is like up until like 2022, 23, somewhere around there, like uh Northern Ireland did not even recognize Irish as an official language.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, and so like Kneecap was like one of this thing that started like this rap group that was like kind of like uh their whole deal was like even though they were like miscreants and talking about all this bad shit and like all the like former kind of like IRA paramilitary, like those type of groups, like didn't like them or whatever. Um, they kind of coasted by on this like idea that like half of they went back they go back and forth between rapping in English and rapping in Irish. And so
Okay.
like their whole deal, like they were like trying to like keep the Irish language alive, like is it like in a very like revolutionary way, right?
Let
Even
me
though
ask
they
this.
were
So
like just two goons.
is this a documentary or is this complete like is this a work of fiction? Like what
It
I thought it was a movie and now you're making me think that it's a fucking documentary.
No, it is a movie.
Oh, okay.
It is a fictionalized account of how they pull this all together.
So they are a real band and
They are
then
a real
it's
band.
a fictionalized version of their story.
They are playing themselves.
Okay.
One guy is a pretty good actor, like convincingly good actor.
Uh-huh.
One guy is not. And then their DJ guy, the guy that looks like you, the like music teacher who like is a little bit older than them, and he's just like, you guys are fucking good. Like, and he's all about like spread it, keeping the Irish language alive. Like, it's just like this weird confluence of events that just kind of like happen to them that
Okay.
kind of like propel them into the front of this kind of like political fight, I guess.
Okay.
But it's like, it's just like, I don't know, man. I just think you would really like it. I think you would dig it. You would just be like, oh, these guys are fucking crazy. Like, you know, it's wild. There's like, nudity, there's drug use, there's like all the things that you would associate with like a movie about rappers.
All right. What's my schedule like this weekend?
And then there's
I'm
like
gonna,
this revolutionary political vibe where it's just like, we're going to fucking stick it to the man.
okay.
And I just think you would enjoy it. I don't know why. Like I saw it, and obviously the guy kind of looks like you, so I was just like, oh yeah, it's Shane. And I was like, I
So
think
like
Shane would like this.
did he just look like me or did he also act like me? Or does he act nothing like
It's hard to tell.
me? Okay.
Um, I just can't picture you being in this scenario. So like, I don't know that
Fair enough.
you know.
Yeah. I'm not really the big mentoring type to Irish rap kids.
Yeah, he wasn't either. Like he kind of got
Oh.
pulled into their side of the lifestyle too. Like it's all
Yeah.
fair. It's all fair game. But it's just
Very
really good,
cool.
man. It's like it's got some serious like train spotting vibes, like very
Oh,
like
that makes sense. Okay.
kind of cut like a music video, like
Ah,
lots of like propulsive scenes, like just everything just kind of propels the story forward at all
cool.
times. Like, yeah, it's just really good. Like, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Is it like a quick watch, like one night, or like an hour and a half, or is it like a
Oh
two
yeah,
and a half
no,
hour movie? Yeah,
I think
quick.
it's
Oh,
less than 2 hours. Like,
cool.
honestly, like it's in and out. It's like it's just like here you go.
Nice. All right. Very cool. What else
Yeah.
you got? I'm sure you've seen some other stuff this summer.
I've seen everything that's
Yeah.
played
Okay.
at the Can, obviously. Like I've seen them, but like I really just haven't enjoyed a lot.
Okay. That's
Almost
fair.
everything that I've really enjoyed is like I really enjoy I really enjoy like the repertory shit I've seen because
Okay.
I don't think I've watched a non-documentary at home in like months. Like
Oh,
so almost all
okay.
the narrative movies I'm seeing at the theater just
At
because
theater. Okay.
I don't know. Like
That's
it's just
pretty cool.
I like doing that better. I just like paying it. I can pay attention better there. I can get the whole
Makes
deal.
sense.
But so like I saw Dee Dee, it was all right. I
DD.
saw
What
fucking
I don't remember what DD is.
Dee Dee is about the Asian kid,
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a good
like
looking.
basically growing up on the internet. I thought that was
Yeah,
gonna be a really good movie too. That's a dope trailer. It's a great
yeah. The
trailer.
trailer's really good. The movie didn't live up to it.
You know what? There are people. I'm sure people like Dee Dee. I just
Okay.
did not. Like I was just kind of like,
Oh,
dude,
okay.
he's kind of an asshole, and I don't
Okay.
really want to get down on this like sadness right now.
Yeah, that's kind of
Um,
a bummer because yeah, I thought that was a really good trailer.
no, the trailer makes it look like a movie that is a little bit like mm, a little bit more like fucking mainstream. Honestly, like
Okay.
the trailer makes it look like it's fucking what's the fucking movie Project X.
Oh, sure. Yeah, okay.
Like you know
Yep.
what I mean. The trailer makes it look like it's got like some Project X vibes, but
Sure.
it is not. It is not,
Okay.
bro. And maybe I came at it with the wrong intent or expectation. But then again, they fucking did that. Like I didn't cut their trailer for them.
Yep.
Sometimes like ask Pineapple Express, man. Sometimes having a fucking super dope trailer can be to your detriment.
That is true.
Because
That is
sometimes
true.
because I mean that thing, I don't know. Okay, the Pineapple Express trailer. I still talk about this. How many 25 years later, right, dude?
Yep.
The fucking with the paper planes by
Yep.
MIA. Like, oh my
Yep.
god, dude. Like, I do not know that there could have been a movie made
Hmm.
that would have
Lived
lived up
up
to that
to.
trailer. You know what I
I'll
mean?
give you that 100%.
Like looking back, like I was just like, 'cause, dude, I was so out of my mind. I would walk into fucking movies, like when I was just like being an usher and shit, and just be like,
Hmm.
oh, they're getting ready to show the Pineapple Express trailer. Let me pop in here real fast.
Dude, it was
You
so
know what I mean?
good.
It
One
was
of the best cut
so good,
trailers ever.
so good.
Dude, it had
Uh,
all the best dialogue. It had all the greatest scenes. Like you said, MIA's Paper Planes played
yeah,
like perfectly to end it, like the last like, third of the trailer. Like, yeah.
it was about like weed. It was about like ridiculousness. It was
Hmm.
about like just two dudes being dudes. And then there was no movie that they were ever going to make that was going to be as good as that trailer. And so like I
Yeah.
think like Dee Dee kind of fell into that.
Okay.
Um Another movie that kind of fell into that trap this
Yep.
summer, Long Legs. You had
Oh,
to have seen
dude,
that.
yeah, totally agree with you on that. 100%.
The marketing for Long Legs was amongst like the greatest marketing campaigns. Like, I
Sure.
mean, it was like Blair Witch level marketing because
Sure.
like every teaser was like chilling. Every fucking
Creepy.
like yeah, creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
And then
Mm.
and and I want to say I liked Long Legs. I thought it was fine. I thought it was well made.
Fine.
I thought it
Yeah.
looked really great. I
Hmm.
thought I thought it looked spectacular. I thought the imagery was really cool. I just can't believe that that was the fucking story. And
I agree. Yes. Dude, I'm right there
I'm
with
not
you.
going to spoil it or anything. Like
Sure.
I want people to go watch it, make up your own mind. But like, I cannot fucking believe
Yep.
that that was what it was.
I completely agree with that because, like you, like I mean, all the reviews were saying it's the next Silence of the Lambs. Like I really had high hopes for it. The trailer was super creepy to me. All of, like you said, the marketing stuff, it got me, and I was like, oh man, like I might actually get scared or be
The
tense.
first two acts of that movie were fucking wildly good.
Yeah. Yep.
And
And
and there was even stuff in the third act that I was like, oh, that's cool. It
I
was
agree.
just like, fuck, man. Like you had your movie hinge on that, and
Yes,
I'm just like,
there was
dog. I was just like, it
there
hurt
were
my
two
soul.
moments
It
in
hurt my
that
soul.
third act that were supposed to be big twists that you saw coming so far away that it was annoying.
I was just
Yeah,
like, I was just so bummed, man. I was
I
so bummed.
agree. Well, and like Nicolas Cage, like his moments were well done and were creepy-ish, but I just feel like he was so terribly used when they did use him.
I my only letterbox review. I just the only thing I wrote about Long
Uh-huh.
Legs was I wrote my letterbox review and I was like, did Nicolas Cage and John Travolta ever stop playing each other after Face Off? Because I could not stop looking at his prosthetic and being like, oh, he looks like John Travolta. And then
Oh
like,
my God.
and then I would sit there and I'd be like, he's acting like Danny fucking Zuko. He's just like, hey, and I was
Oh
just
my
like,
God.
and I was like, holy shit. I was like, this is real fucked up. And like, and so that's like one of those things. And I'm just like, dude, that's fucking incredible. Like, I don't like it's all I could think about. Like, whenever he was on screen, I was just like, dude, are you playing John Travolta? Like, is that your vibe? And I was like, because if so,
That's
that's fucking hilarious and brilliant.
amazing.
And I like to think that that was a choice that was made. But
Like in some other world, Longlegs is like what could have happened if Face Off ended differently.
it's just Face Off 20 years later. It's like that guy just lived.
Oh my
Just was
God, dude, I
creepy.
never thought of it that way, but as soon as you said it, that makes so like yes, I 100% see his perform. I will never not be able to see it that way again. Oh
Hey.
man.
It's just like, dude, get the fuck out of here. It's like,
Yeah,
Sandy,
yeah,
don't leave me. It's just like, it's like gross, dude. It was so like, oh
yeah.
man, it was one of those things. Like once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. Much
Yeah,
like
I will
the,
never
much
be
like
able
the,
to.
much like the whole plot twist.
Yeah.
Like, but no, like, but there was enough good stuff that I was just like, you know what, that movie kept me pretty entertained for
Yeah,
a whole
I mean,
season with the
I agree.
trailers and the run ups and everything.
Yeah, and like some of the paranoia stuff, like you said in the first two acts, was done really well. Like when she's paranoid about like him possibly being
Yeah,
outside of her house. Like,
yeah.
I mean
And
that
like I
that
said,
stuff was done pretty well.
it looked cool. Like the
Yeah.
imagery was pretty creepy. Like I thought Alicia Witt was really good. Um,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I really loved Blair Underwood.
Oh,
Like I was
absolutely. Yeah.
in a way where I was just like, oh, you're still alive. That's really cool. And then I was just like, holy shit, you can still act, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
Get this man a
Him
role.
him and the main chick had some really good scenes together.
Yeah,
What
I
was
thought the whole
what
deal
was
was
the
good.
movie that she did before that? I just watched it like a couple of nights before I watched Long Legs. What was the movie
I
that
know what
she
you're talking
was
about, but It Follows, maybe.
She was in It Follows, but she did something else like a year or two ago. Crap.
Uh,
And I really ended up liking it when I watched it. Let's see, we are looking at Micah Monroe, and she was in Watcher. Yeah, the movie Watcher. It was 2022. I ended up watching that like a night or two before I went and saw Long Legs. I thought Watcher. Have you ever seen Watcher?
mm-mm.
No, okay. Like her and her husband moved to some European country, and then she swears that a guy across the street from them is like stalking her and watching her, and like it's a whole like Hitchcockian paranoia type movie that I thought was really well done when I watched it.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. All right, other than Long Legs, what else you seen recently?
Uh, almost everything. Almost everything I've really liked this year has been, or this summer has been like repertory type shit.
Yeah, you
Honestly,
mentioned that. Yeah,
I took my daughter to see Footloose at the Art
the
Craft,
original, the
the
original,
original. Yeah, yeah, with Kevin
awesome.
Bacon and
Yeah,
fucking Chris
awesome.
Penn. Like, yeah, like I had not seen that movie probably in like 25 years, right?
Okay,
I mean, I still
did
know
it
what
hold
it's
up?
about. Like,
Oh, sure,
oh no, it was fantastic. I
good.
did not, I guess I did not realize how many like kind of like movies like that had just like cribbed scenes wholesale from that fucking movie. Like I was just like, okay, so like obviously like I have a 12-year-old daughter, so I have seen all the High School Musicals over the past like 3 years, and that
Sure.
motherfucker just openly steals from Footloose like every chance he gets, dude. Like, oh, Kenny
Really
Ortega, I'm looking at you, dude. Like, like you got nothing without Kevin Bacon. Like, but
interesting.
man, like, yeah, dude, that movie's awesome. It still really holds up.
Good.
I really enjoyed it. Um, I really enjoyed Chun King Express, the Wong
What is
Kar
what
Wai
is
movie,
well, I have no idea what
from like
that
the
is.
'90s. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Wong Kar Wai, he's Wong Kar Wai. He's a fuck like Hong Kong
Oh,
director.
okay.
I don't know, but
I've
you know,
never I don't know any of his stuff.
oh man, well, you should get hip to that game. He's pretty
Okay.
like
All right.
some of the best cinematography in the history of movies. Chris Doyle on a total heater throughout the
Okay.
'90s. Um, let's see, what else did I like? What else have I seen? Um, oh, I watched all three of the X movies within like
Oh,
3 days of
okay.
each other at the Can.
Okay.
I
And
watched X and
okay.
Pearl on a back to
Yep.
back, and then I
Yep.
saw
Okay.
Maxine like 2 days later.
Cool. Of the three of them, which is your favorite?
I actually think Maxine.
I agree. I'm with you
I
on
know that's
that.
like a super. Oh, good. That I know that's like
Yes.
a super unpopular opinion in the
No,
world of
I'm right
X
there with you.
movies. I okay. Full disclosure: the first time I saw X was literally just like sitting on my couch by
Sure.
myself, and
Yeah.
it just didn't hit at all.
Okay.
I was just kind of like, I'm a little bored with this.
Uh-huh.
Um, Watching it in a movie theater was fucking fantastic.
Okay.
People
So
with people reacting to all the things you're supposed to react to, and
yeah.
like sometimes like that vibe, like sometimes like sometimes with movies that like don't have like a clearly established like tone all the way through, like it helps to have like other people recognize like, oh, that's a tonal shift. I can laugh here. I can hang out
Okay.
here. This makes sense to me. And it just made sense to me on like a whole different level when there's like an audience. And
So
it made
did they show all three of the movies in the theater?
they showed all three of them in the theater.
Okay.
It was
Cool.
like the weekend before they opened Maxine, which opened
Okay.
on a Wednesday because of July 4th or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
But they did like the members thing on like the Tuesday. So like I guess like Saturday I went and saw X and Pearl,
Okay.
and then Tuesday I
But
saw
you had already
Max.
watched them at home on your
Yeah, I'd
couch.
already seen
Yeah.
both of those
Okay.
movies at home.
Okay.
I still just don't really dig Pearl all
I
that much.
agree. It's yeah, it's
Like
very blah.
I respect what it is. Like I like the movies that it references.
Yeah,
it's just not my jam. I
I
just
agree
didn't
with you.
like.
It just was okay. It was nothing great. I like Mia Goth a lot. I think if it was anybody else, I probably wouldn't care about it as much.
Yeah, but even that, like I wanted her to be doing more like Mia Gothy things.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, and I was just kind of like, I kind of just want to go see you play Maxine again. That's cool. And then that brings us to Maxine, man.
Yep.
Like, I love all the movies that like he was cribbing
Yep.
off of.
Oh,
Like, dude,
absolutely.
like like I love Brian De Palma movies. Those movies were like
Oh,
on
sure.
all the time when like Channel 4, Channel 59, back when they just used to show movies all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like before they had like rights to local sports and shit. Like they'd just be like, here you go. It's like, and so like, yeah, I just really love like I love the well done sleaze. Um,
Sure.
did I think like the back half was a little weak? Sure. But you
Yeah.
know what? Like, I don't necessarily like go to the movies looking for like a complete thing all the time.
Nah,
And
and
what I liked about Maxine like far outweighed like what I did not.
sure. I think my only real complaint with it was if you've ever seen a movie like the opening 1 minute perfectly, you knew who the villain of the movie was. Like I was never, as
Oh
the
yeah,
movie
yeah, yeah.
progressed, like I was never like, "Ooh, I wonder who's like stalking her and whatnot." Like literally in that first minute of the movie, it made me realize who the villain of the movie was or whatnot. I mean, that was my only real complaint. Like I might have been able to do without that, or maybe if they had shortened it up a little bit and just shown me like a piece of what they showed you, and like then in the third act, I saw the whole like the whole video. I think that might have been able to play out a little bit better, but like there was some really good gore in it. There was some really cool stuff. Obviously, I loved all the stuff on the Universal backlot, like going up to like
Dog.
Norman Bates's house. Like that was super cool.
I fucking love Elizabeth Debicki.
Yep, she
Like
was awesome. And, like
I
she
just
had
think
some
she
really
is
weird
like
monologues.
unbelievable. Like I just
Yeah,
think she is just unbelievably talented. Um, I really, I fucking loved Kevin Bacon, and
he was.
I thought that might have been like the saving grace. Is like you did know who the bad guy was at the beginning,
Yeah,
but the longer they kind of kept him out and let
sure.
Kevin Bacon do all the like kind of like bad guy work,
Yep,
the better the movie was.
agree.
You know
100%
what I
agree
mean?
with you on that.
The movie kind of took a downhill turn after Kevin Bacon died, honestly.
Yes,
But you know what?
and
It was
I mean,
fine because that movie
dude,
was
talking.
so. The thing is, that movie was so quickly paced that even though
Oh yeah.
after Kevin Bacon died, there was like maybe 25 minutes. Like,
Yep.
so I'm just like, that's fine. Get out of here.
My problem being is like how how they end up dealing with Kevin Bacon and like the help that she gets for that. Why didn't that help come with you when you go to confront like the boss, the final villain of the movie? Like, why did you go do that by yourself instead of bringing this help that you had that just helped you get rid of Kevin Bacon?
Yeah,
Could have
just being like,
made it.
hey, I figured it out.
Yeah, can you come
Can you
help me?
bring the dog? It's like,
Exactly.
you're like, dog.
Like that was the only thing
No,
that I didn't
yeah,
understand. It was just like, why'd you go into this house by yourself, alone, trying to take down this bad guy when, like, literally you just had a couple of dudes that helped you take down the mini villain? Like, I was just like, I feel like the plot could have been a little bit better right there, but eh.
I didn't
I've
come.
seen worse shit in horror movies, so it's not like it was the worst decision I've ever seen a horror character make.
I did not expect it to be like a fucking, you know, like Aaron
Pulp
Sorkin,
or
like
oh,
like screenplay. Like I'm good. Like what you got in, you got out. Like I will not accept a life that I don't deserve. Bang. Like
yeah, yeah,
let's hit the door. It's fine.
yeah.
Like yeah, no,
Yeah.
I like
But no, I'm
Maxine.
with you, man. I really enjoyed Maxine a lot. I thought it was exactly what I wanted out of the movie. I went with a buddy of mine who had not seen the first two movies, and so
Oh
when it
yeah,
was over, and I was just like, he was like, yeah, it was okay. And I was like, so have you seen the first two? And he was like, no. And I'm like, do you think that changed? Like, did you feel like you were lost at all? And he was like, no, I think those flashbacks, like, he didn't know that those flashbacks were from the other, like, was from X.
yeah.
So when I explained that, he was like, oh, maybe it would have made more sense if I had seen X. And I was like, I don't really think so. I think they gave you what you needed to have to understand X.
I mean, like if you can't get down when she smashes homie's balls, and they linger on it, like
Oh man, that
you're
was rough.
dude,
Oh,
dude, that was one of those where I was just like, oh, thank God I was in like a full theater to see that
oh,
because like the reaction was just priceless. Like
dude, yeah. I
everybody
I was
got
in a fairly full theater. There was quite a bit of people and I had a good reaction when that happened too.
everybody
Yeah.
did that thing where they pull their leg up and they like cross it, like they're just like, oh, stop it. Like yeah, that
Yeah.
was awesome. That I was just like, congratulations for going there.
Oh, yeah. So, oh, yeah. Yes, I'm with you on X. What else you got?
That's about it. I
Okay.
honestly like I haven't really liked much of anything in a while. Yeah.
Okay. That's understandable. I'm kind of with you. Most of the stuff I go see these days, I don't really enjoy. I mean, there's a few things here and there. What about Twisters?
I didn't make it out,
You didn't make it. Okay.
and that's sad because I really like Glenn Powell.
Yeah, dude, he is so growing on me in the most awkward way. Like,
Dude,
I
I think I've been standing for that guy since like literally day one. Like
really
I loved him, and everybody wants some.
okay.
And
Yeah. Oh
then
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
he did the he did the movie with Zoe Deutsch on the Netflix movie Set It Up. Did you see this one?
Oh, okay. I didn't see that one. I know what you're talking about, though. I remember
Where they're
seeing
like
the.
assistants for like Tay Diggs
Yeah.
and Lucy Liu and trying to hook them up. So, but
Mm-hmm.
they end up like typical rom com shit. But
Sure.
I was like, that dude is a fucking star.
I think after I watched Anyone But You on Netflix, I think it like popped that up. That was like, we think you'd like this also. And I watched the preview and I was like, maybe someday I'll get around to watching that. So it's worth my time too.
Yeah, I like it. I
Yeah.
liked it. I thought
Nice.
it was you know, I feel like I feel the way about rom coms that you do about like summer blockbusters. Like
Okay.
I generally tend to like them. I generally tend to go to all
So
of them and have
anyone
feelings.
but you dug?
You know what? Like I still haven't seen that either.
Oh, gotcha. Right
I
on.
know I'm sitting here talking about Glenn Powell's stand from day one, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, I'm lazy.
You missed his Sydney Sweeney movie, which honestly, she's why I watched it, but he was very it's knowing you the way I do with rom coms, I think you'll enjoy it. It's not a bad rom com, and
No,
it's a very
like
standard paint by numbers rom com.
it's one of those things. Like I really like the guy Will Gluck, the guy that did that.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
he did that movie Fired Up. Did you ever
Oh,
see this
okay. Yes,
about
I
the male
did. The
cheerleaders?
male cheerleaders. Yep.
Which I just thought was rad, and like he's done
Uh,
some other
Greg
shit of that
Olson
ilk.
was that the blonde kid in that one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
The dude that was like on CSI or whatever
Yeah. Yeah.
at some point. Yeah,
He was like the surfer detective guy or whatever.
yeah, dude.
But yeah, what about talking about Glenn Powell? What's the other one? Did you watch his Richard Linklater movie?
Uh, I
Hitman?
have not. I don't have Netflix, so it's like really
Oh,
hard to do
well,
that right now. But
that makes that hard then. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I that was one of those I was just like, wait, I had to sit through that piece of shit Maestro because you've dropped that into the theaters. But like you've got a certified like Richard Linklater, like Glenn Powell, like banger that probably would have done like $50 million on their
Okay.
like $4 budget. And Netflix was like, nah, it's good, thanks. I'm like, you couldn't have dropped that into theaters for a week,
Yeah.
just to get Glenn Powell some love. Like bullshit, so stupid.
But yeah, man,
But no,
I've really been digging him ever. I didn't really
I
get
have a
on him
feeling I'll
until
really like
Maverick.
it.
What's that?
I have a feeling I'll really like it when I get around to watching it. Like, I mean, it's two of
Man,
my favorite things. It's like,
yeah, it's but it's more of the it's more of the Linklater that I don't like.
which is
Like just it's not I'm trying to think like all of his early stuff I dig and I feel like it's very, relatable and like it's like the Kevin Smith type stuff where it's like it's people that I can relate to and whatnot. And then I feel like sometimes like School of Rock, that was him, right? He did School of Rock.
yeah.
Yeah, like characters that I can relate to. Like I can relate to Jack Black in that movie. And then like sometimes, oh man, what was Linklater's last film? Um,
Uh, the last one, shit, I don't
yeah,
know. I don't
the one
know
that he
that.
just did like 2 years ago. I just
Uh,
remember watching a Linklater one recently and being like, "Bro, you don't make movies that I like anymore," and that was not enjoyable.
I mean, he's always been kind of like a tricky, kind of like one for you, two for me type guy. Like, I mean, right after Days Confused, he made like fucking what, like a Suburbia and like fucking A Scanner Darkly and like
See, I love
Waking
A
Life
Scanner
and all that
Darkly
shit.
though. I like
You
Waking
know,
Life also.
like he was like, oh, let's play with this thing. And so, like, he's always just kind of been like, whatever. Like, like I remember watching a documentary about the Texas baseball coach, like the University of Texas baseball coach, Augie Garrido, that Linklater
Okay.
did. And it was interesting. It was good. Like, he takes big swings. He misses. That's fine. But I mean, the guy's made like damn near 50 movies. It's like,
Where'd
like,
you go, Bernadette? That's the one that I did not remember liking.
yeah, I could, dude, I don't,
Kate Blanchett, Billy Crudup, Emma Nelson, Kristen Wiig. Yeah, that's the one that I was like, this movie is dumb. Because yeah, Everybody Wants Some was good. What I saw of Boyhood was good. I never actually finished Boyhood. Um, oh, and Bernie. I was not a fan of Bernie. I did
I
like A
thought Bernie
Scanner
was all right.
Darkly.
I kind of thought
Yeah,
Bernie was
that
cool.
wasn't my jam. Oh, he did the remake of the Bad News Bears, which I did not like.
Can you do like Fast Food Nation?
I believe
Uh,
so. Let me keep going back here a little bit.
yeah, see, I mean, dude, I mean, look at it. You're going like
Yeah, Fast
you're
Food
like
Nation game.
yeah, you're like 100 deep at this point. Like, I mean, he's like Steven Soderbergh. It's like they can't all be winners
True.
when your whole deal is working consistently. Like,
Yeah.
especially if you're not like working consistently in like a money factory. Like,
Yeah.
like it's like if it's like Richard Linklater could have been like fucking James Cameron and made like four things in his life and been like, here
True.
you go, this Days Confused, everybody wants some, and then like pick your other two favorites,
Yep.
Before Sunrise and School of Rock. And
Yeah,
you would have
there
been
you
like,
go.
oh my god, this guy's like the best director ever. But he didn't do that. He was just like, we're gonna make those movies
Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and what's the third one?
before midnight.
Before Midnight. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Which
I
is
don't
a good
really like.
trilogy. I mean, I
I
think
didn't
they
really
go
like Before
progressively
Midnight.
downhill.
Before
Oh, okay,
Midnight
yeah.
was not my favorite.
Yeah, I agree. It's the worst of the three. Before Sunrise is amazing, though. They have them just walking around talking.
I watched all three of those in one day at the Can
Oh,
Can, like
oh,
the day before Valentine's Day, or
okay,
I don't know if it was the day before Valentine's Day, but it was like the weekend before Valentine's Day.
okay.
Uh,
How
yeah,
did they play out all together?
it's pretty rad actually. Like it was
Okay,
interesting. Like it was really cool. Like I really enjoyed it. Like I went and saw the first one, and obviously like that one was the one that I had seen like the most of in my life. And I was just like, all right. I was like, I've kind of forgot. This is a really like good movie where
yep,
like nothing happens and
nothing.
like it's
Lots of
just
talking.
vibes.
Yep,
it's just vibes, and you're like, oh, I like hanging out with these people.
yep.
And then like I went out, I took a walk in the like 20 minutes between the movies. Like I was just like, all
Hmm.
right, I'm gonna get my mile in, just kind of like vibe out, vibe out. Uh, I went back in to watch Before Sunset,
Hmm.
and that movie is like 78 minutes long, and it is almost like note perfect. Like I did not recognize, like I did not think I liked. For whatever reason, I had convinced myself that I did not really like that movie the first time I had seen
Okay.
it, because it
I
wasn't
remember it
Before
being
Sunrise.
okay. Right. I remember it being okay.
I think what had happened was Before Sunrise like came out, and I was obviously much younger than those people, like because they had just graduated college or whatever,
Yeah.
So like I was maybe like 10 years younger than those people, and but I could understand them still.
Okay.
I'm guessing like 5 to 10 years younger. Um, and then by the time Before Sunset came out, like
Hmm.
I feel like maybe like in real life I had eclipsed them, or like I just could not, like I didn't feel like I feel like at the time I watched it I was just kind of like I don't relate to this, like I don't see these
Gotcha.
people as being these people.
Okay. Okay.
but but the second time, with 20 years distance or whatever, like I was
Yeah.
just like, oh no, this is really perfect. I was like, he really nailed like the growth, and like these people had changed a little bit, and it was like
Yeah.
really interesting. Like it was really interesting to be able to see that in like 30 minutes, after the last one, you know.
Sure.
And then by the time I went for another walk. Brooke Vaughn came into town. She watched
Oh,
Before Midnight with me.
nice.
And God, I hated that fucking movie. What a fucking piece of shit. like, like
I don't remember hating
what?
it that much, but I do remember being like, this is definitely
It's
nowhere
just
near as
people.
good.
It's just people that I used to think were super cool, like bitching at each other the entire time. It's just like, can you please just
Fair.
stop your bickering? Like, I'm
Fair.
tired of this shit. Like, I'm tired of this shit. If you don't like each other, you think I'm gonna like you? Get the
Mm.
fuck out of here. Like, I just did not enjoy spending time with them at all. Like, in the third one, and so like I kind of was just like, man, just leave it at that. I think we learned a valuable lesson, man. Never get old. Um, Youth is the only fucking commodity that you have in life. Spend it wisely. Um, because when you get old, all you want to do is like bicker and bitch and argue and be shitty Ethan Hawke. And
That's
it's
fair.
like, I don't want to be shitty Ethan Hawke.
Agreed. I'm with you on that. I really enjoy your breakdown of why the movie's so bad. So man, like what else do we got to talk about? We've gone
I
for
think we've
almost
gone
an
for
hour, so
damn
what's that?
near an hour, right? Like, I feel
Yeah,
so I'm like, damn, we damn got like an hour. Like,
yeah. I mean, if you got nothing else, we can start wrapping this shit up. I just didn't know if you had anything else movie wise, what's been going on this summer, anything else you got to chat about? Um,
like just kind of letting it pass me by, man. Like,
Word.
I really just like, yeah,
I
kind of
have
just
not paid
going.
attention to any of the Artcraft Brew and View movies. Have I missed anything good, or is there one coming up we can do?
Um, Honestly, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I feel like the last one was like I was just like, ooh. Like the thing that they do the brew and view, they do that on the Saturday night, but they do the wine one for like ladies on the Friday
Oh,
night. And I feel
oh,
like lately the Friday nights have been like kicking the fucking Saturday night one's ass. Like I'm just
interesting.
like,
Okay,
no, I would much rather go see Buffy the Vampire Slayer than whatever like
nice.
troglodyte like commando shit you're trying to like pull out here, buddy. Um, I don't know. I know they're playing The Dark Knight in a couple weeks.
Oh, okay. All
Uh,
right.
which,
That'd be kind of
which is
fun on the big
honestly
screen.
like, which is honestly kind of like right at the like tail end of what they can do with 35 millimeter
Yeah.
cinema.
Yep.
Like,
2008.
you
Yeah.
know, it's kind of like right on that cutoff. So
Yeah.
I might go watch that, even though that's a movie that like I also don't think I like based on the first time I
Really
saw it. I just didn't get into it.
interesting. I
I
love that
just
movie.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like I might like
Okay.
now. I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
very interesting, and it's something that I've been learning a lot with going back and rewatching stuff that I used to hate, and I talk about it on the regular podcast that like it's weird how so many years being removed from something that you didn't think you liked, definitely you sometimes have a different experience when you go and rewatch it. And there's been a lot of stuff that I thought I hated that I've rewatched in the last few years that I don't hate as much as I used to.
Yeah, no, I mean it can go both ways,
Yeah,
you know. Like
sure.
I went and watched The Outsiders,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola movie,
Yep. Phenomenal
at
movie.
the at the archive. No, no, that movie's trash.
No, the movie's so much fun. Pony Boy?
No, you think that movie is fun because you
Yeah,
watched it when you were like 18 and you were like, yeah. No,
yeah.
man, dude, that movie is garbage. Like it's really poorly made. If you watch
Really?
this thing, you would just be like, oh, this thing, what are we doing here, guys?
All right. I
Like
might have to go
exactly
rewatch that then and see if I feel the same way as you do.
it's like exactly how much cocaine did y'all do? Like shit. Like, yeah, I didn't yeah, I was just like appalled at how bad I thought it was.
Gotcha. Okay,
I was just like,
interesting.
oh, I was like, was I stupid when I was younger? Which is always a question that I like to ask.
Absolutely. Well, we
And
got
they,
4 months left in the year. Do you have anything that you're super looking forward to before the year ends, whether it's movie wise or whether you got any plans or trips or anything? What kind of exciting stuff do you have to wrap up 2024?
uh, you know, really looking forward to fantasy football poker day.
Oh, yep, that's
Uh,
gonna be a blast.
that's always a hoot. What else, man? Nothing that I can think of, man.
Nothing?
Like,
Right on, man.
like I always want to see something. Uh,
Sure.
you know, the
What's the next big thing coming to Can?
um, yeah, that's a really good question. I know they're doing an Ozu retrospective.
Oh,
Uh,
what?
Yasuhiro Ozu, like a Japanese director from like the 50s, 60s, like pretty famous, world renowned. He was kind of like the dramatic yin to Kurosawa's like action yang.
Okay. All right.
Um, and so they're playing like three movies of his, having some talks with
Nice.
professors and like.
You gonna
Looking
go to
forward to that.
that?
Oh
You
yeah, I'm
gonna
gonna
go
go
to
there
that? Yeah.
tonight.
Nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and then tomorrow and Friday, I'm probably gonna go see The Graduate.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Summer movie, baby.
Nice. I like when they do old school stuff like that. That's pretty. It's always fun to see that on the big screen and like enjoy it with other people.
Yeah, it's always nice to like. I recently watched The Seven Samurai.
Okay.
They re-released that, and that is a movie that's like 3.5 hours long. So I would not be watching that if it was at home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That would have just been something that like stayed watched when I was like 20 or whatever.
Sure.
But pretty good movie. Holds up.
Dude, awesome. Well, brother, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you joining me for this mid-month episode. Like I say, talking to you every month at least is always my favorite thing. I know some shit came up last month, so since we weren't able to do it last month, I thought let's throw you in the middle of the month. We'll have an extendedly long talk with you. Loved my time. In like 2 weeks, we'll get back together and we'll talk about some '90s bands. Does that sound like fun?
Dog. Yeah. It's gonna be hard to come up with four. I want to. I feel like there's like 490s bands that I have an opinion
Sure.
on.
Yeah, well, we can talk about some more, but I want to know the four of them that like influenced you the most, like what you listened to the most as far as '90s bands go, and then we'll chat about those. And I will not be surprised if I have not heard of any of the four of them. I'm hoping to maybe go one for four. Maybe there will be something I will know. But yeah, man, we can talk about a lot of '90s bands and see what opinions you've got.
Brush up on your pavement.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for your time this week. I always appreciate chatting with you, my friend.
Take it easy, brother.
All right, later, guys.